Architecture. Innovation needs scaffolding, it needs funding, governance, and clarity and rhythm to protect progress. And this is largely around just designing for the system that you're in. The problem is that innovation often has no license to operate within a complex organization. One, we don't have dedicated resources, with only 3 in 10 organizations saying that innovation has a dedicated budget or mandate. So we talk about innovation, but we talk about it holistically, which is fine, but we also expect it to be side of desk, which is very, very difficult to do, as we all know. We have competing priorities. Half of leaders admit that new initiatives compete directly with BAU priorities. So it's very, very difficult to prioritize longer term, higher strategic initiatives when your BAU is sucking up your 60 or 40 hours every week. And we've got governance bottlenecks. So we've got 4 in 5 respondents, or 80% of respondents, saying that governance slows innovation more than it enables it. So governance is designed to actually, I guess it's largely about risk, but if 8 out of 10 leaders are feeling that the governance that surrounds their initiatives is slowing more than enabling, we've got some breaks, we've got some problems in the system that our governance is not necessarily fit for purpose to be able to enable us and get the decisions we need to get progress. So what we need to do is we need to flip that and create a license, the license for innovation, and some opportunities for that. And I've just pulled out 50K. This would be, needs to be fit for purpose for the organization you're in. 50K might be 5K or $500 in your organization, but create a fast track, set a threshold and create a fast track that simplifies procurement, funding, and approvals for experiments below the threshold. And it can be a dollar threshold, but it could be a risk tolerance threshold. If you set some thresholds, you need this kind of architecture that helps you accelerate things and create a system that's fit for purpose for the initiatives that you're trying to push through. Because, like I said, not every partner is Microsoft. You need to be able to have the governance that enables initiatives that are much lower risk and much lower outlay than those big kind of strategic initiatives. Start cheap. Start with a cheap tool. Buy before buying tech. Is this something we can test in Excel? Miro, can we use an off-the-shelf app? Is there something we can do to just hack this? Can we use Figma? Can we use ChatGPT? Can we do something to just hack this together, test it before building anything? Let's build something really, really low-fi and really easy and simple, but safe, that's going to get us what we need, the learnings we need and the insights we need to be able to make the progress that we seek. Hold 15 minutes governance huddles. So replace long committees with short cadence check-ins that unblock progress, and do it frequently. So rather than having a monthly steering committee, have a weekly check-in where you might just focus on your risk matrix, and you might just focus on the top right-hand quadrant of that risk matrix. What are our biggest risks? What's moved? What's changed? What are our mitigants? Do we have approval to do X, or whatever it might be? Frequency gives us that momentum. And 15 minutes is not a burden of time that people, it's not a meeting that needs to keep getting moved down the track or getting delayed the day before when the executive comes in and goes, I've got this more important thing the next day. And suddenly you lose another month's progress because you haven't got the decision that you need. So a useful framework here is another one that we've developed called the Decision and Momentum Canvas, which is really around helping you understand and unlock that gap between decisions and momentum, and help you kind of get things moving faster. Okay, an example where we've created this architecture to help an organization move faster and get to the place where they want to be. So we had a small team that was at capacity and their growth had stalled, right? So really, really small organization, and some real growth challenges around trying to attract new members and retain existing members. They're a small health fund. So our approach was that we built a system with guardrails to run the BAU in parallel with the strategic work that we were doing. So we happened to do the work in parallel to them in a really low-fi way, in a really affordable way. As a result, we were able to revitalize their marketing plan for focus and efficiency. And we identified and prioritized some growth opportunities with the rollout plan without any impact to the core business or their BAU. The outcomes are is that we're about to have our first initiative from that in market within months. So this work kicked off in May, and we're about to have our first initiative in market, which will be the first time they've ever done this without it being on a large strategic plan. The BAU is unaffected, so I have regular meetings with the leadership, but they're those short meetings, and we've got they're really deliberate around what they're designed for. Their decision making, we focus on the things that are important, and they're designed to enable rather than stall. And we've had really positive feedback from the board and leadership as a result. So this is momentum building, and we're able to keep going with the BAU, but also get some of those growth initiatives happening in parallel, which has been really effective.